Well, Jean-Guy, thanks for joining me on another episode.
Thanks for having me. Here we go again.
Yeah.
In between our fern.
In between our palm.
Palm.
We've been corrected, I think. So, yeah. I just wanted to thank everybody who's been watching our episodes and remind people that if they've got questions to go ahead and drop a question underneath our social media, and we'll hopefully try and answer some of those in the next episode. We're trying to do this every 30 days.
Yep.
And just kind of inform people of what's going on in the marketplace. Mortgage-wise, what's happening, Jean-Guy? What have you heard? What's going down?
Well, it's been November was a more exciting month than it usually has.
Yeah.
November is usually a slower month, but this month, this past November was actually quite exciting. There was a lot of people, like we talked about last month, that have had some pent-up demand, and they were actually looking, or they began their applications in the late spring when COVID began, and they started making some purchases in November. So
Right.
made for a positive November.
And interest rates comparable to last year, or a little lower, or where are we at?
They're probably close to about half.
Right. Okay.
So that's really one of the benefactors, right?
Sure.
You're going at well over, probably closer to 3.5% last November to about 1.7% today,
Okay.
give or take a little bit, 1.7 to 2%, depending on
Yeah.
where people qualify.
Yeah.
But that's certainly a factor and help people move along.
Good.
How about yourself?
Yeah. No, things were great. I mean, we had a exceptional. Sorry, and I gotta look because I need to talk my stats out. The sales. So sales year over year in Red Deer were up 13%. Again, that's not price. That's just total sales.
Mm-hmm.
And I always talk in active or detached single-family dwelling when I'm talking stats.
Yeah.
Sylvan Lake was up 53%, which is amazing. Typically November is a slower month, and like you just said, it was kind of a better month, and there's signs of that. Black Falls was up 67%.
Wow.
Lacombe, the same thing, 53%. One of the big things I noticed was in Red Deer, over 800,000. Sales were up 55%. Now that's total year volume, not just November's volume. And same thing, Sylvan Lake. And when I say talk Sylvan Lake, we're not talking any of the summer villages. They have separated that on the MLS database,
Okay.
so we don't have to look at lakefront
Yeah.
as one of the properties selling versus a single family in the town of Sylvan. So that kind of helps. But over 500K, up 35%. Black Falls, same thing, over 500K, up 14%. The sales. Lacombe was a little, actually, they're even maybe a little behind from last year, but there weren't that many in Lacombe to begin with, over 500,000 in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's maybe not as big a development happening out there, so there's maybe not as many higher end homes that are selling, if we want to call them that. And of course, our inventory is still decreasing, which might have something to do with the amount of sales and activity. But we're still not, what I see for active on the market is still not a stable market level of listings in any of the markets we're talking about. So
What's happening with those prices on those houses?
we're anywhere.
What's your nose there?
Sorry, yeah, popped off. That's all right. We're anywhere like sale versus list price, or list versus sale price.
Mm-hmm.
On average, still right around 3% below your list price. So whatever you're selling for is about 3% below. So that's been pretty good. Our sale price hasn't really changed year over year. I mean, it's gone up some, obviously, because of the $1 million or the bigger properties, but it hasn't been a substantial spread like we would hope to see, or maybe an increase. If anything, actually, there's still a little bit of downward pressure there.
Oh. What's good for buyers?
Well, it's very good for buyers. Buyers have been, taking advantage of it for sure. Yeah.
That's good to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, we would like it to be a balanced market since we are homeowners ourselves, but there's opportunities for people to get into the market right now, right?
Yeah, and I've been hearing rumors that even rental vacancy is down a little better than it has been. So I don't know if some of these sellers, that's their plan, or if they're downsizing, or where they're all going. It's something I'd like to find out more about, or maybe we can see that trend if Alberta sends a thing out at the end of the year talking about where people are, if people are moving back home to the out east, or
Personally, I've seen some downsizing, not a lot. I've been seeing a lot of people, clients. I mean, a lot of your comfortable buyers, right?
Yeah.
So where their incomes weren't in the upper echelon, like your oil field guys,
Yeah.
but normalized in your Alberta normal income, 70, 80,000, and you got each couple making that sort of income.
Yeah.
They've been able to take advantage of the market, and they've been sitting on the sidelines the last couple of years.
Sure.
And a lot of them are pulling the trigger now because it just makes financial sense.
Yeah, well, you look at some of the sales, especially once you get over that $500,000 hump, man, there are some beautiful homes that, you know, we all saw build for 750,000 and now they're selling for 600 or, you know, so that,
No, it's amazing.
yeah, that's the advantage for sure if you can get up in that price point. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I know construction's down a little bit too. We've seen that over the last 5 years. Our construction build outs have been slowed down as well. So, but yeah, no. Anything else on your end that you wanted to give a little talk about or talk to?
Well, just kind of a rate forecast, I guess, to keep everybody as to what's going on. And looking at the bond market since we last spoke, there was a little bit of an increase since
Okay.
the vaccination was announced.
Right.
So the market's kind of absorbed that and haven't seen rates on the whole level go up, maybe 5 basis points. So there is chatter out there that the rates will increase 5 or 10 basis points. Or possibly more, depending on the positive news of the vaccine that's
Sure.
coming out.
Sure.
So that's actually one thing that I never thought about until the day that the vaccine was announced.
Right. Okay.
And then you saw a little spike in what they call the bond market,
Yeah.
which is one of the rate indicators out there.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So it increased 10 basis points. Some lenders increased it by 10, some didn't, and
Yeah.
some stayed the same. So
Yeah. Perfect.
something to keep an eye on for the next few months. But I think it's going to be, if you're up 5 or 10 basis points from where we're at,
Yeah.
not a big deal compared to where we're at a year and a half ago.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah. That's great. Right on. Yeah, and I'm just impressed with the market overall. I think there's probably some really happy sellers out there. The last 5 months have been amazing. You know, our sales have just gone through the roof. I'm surprised we haven't seen an increase in price, but again, that's probably just, you know, we're everybody absorbing some of that market that we've had on for 2-3 years. Some of that stuff's been sitting a long time. So.
Absolutely, and we are in a different type of market, so where we can have busy Novembers and Decembers, where they're typically a softer month
Yeah.
in your regular market.
Yeah.
We're in a normal market, so hopefully these next few months stay like that for us and our
Yeah,
families.
yeah, exactly. Well, thanks again, Jean-Guy. Please subscribe to our social media platforms. They'll be below. And if you have questions, please text that out or send us a message, and we'll try and give an answer on the next episode. Thanks again.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Ben.
Yep, see ya.
Take care.